Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Wednesday, King 5. Meteorologist Adam Claibon here to talk about the snow that's still going to be around, but we have a first alert weather day, which is going to be up because of the cold air. That's going to be the main thing as we go throughout the next few days. Some spots still picking up accumulating snowfall too here into the night. We're going to let you know where exactly those are, plus talk about some possible daily record lows with that cold air that's ahead of us as we head on into the end of the work week. But let's talk about first alert weather today. We're starting that up later this afternoon and will last all the way through Saturday morning for some of the very cold temperatures we're expecting. We'll see lowland snow, and it looks like a few spots will pick up some accumulations with that, but it's really those overnight lows which will drop into the teens and the low 20s, which will be something that we'll really have our eyes set upon. And as far as where the cold weather is going to happen, that's everywhere here across western Washington. As far as the Olympic Peninsula, seeing some of the snow, that's where it looks like the better accumulation amounts will be. Elsewhere, we'll see some light snow kind of here and there and maybe some light accumulations, but most of the moisture stays off to the west. So let's talk about what's happening outside, because first what we're seeing here in Seattle has been the snow this morning, and then more of these areas of clouds and then a few sun breaks here into the afternoon. So not a whole lot of action going on as we speak. A bit breezy down in Tacoma as we have the cloudy skies there. Again, a little snow this morning, but overall a lot of that, if not all of it, has melted, and we're going to be heading into the night looking to stay mainly snow-free from about this part going farther north. It's farther south that we have more of the concern that we're going to keep an eye on here as we go on into the night. A few other spots. Let's look live in Olympia, because here as of about 3 o'clock into the afternoon, we are seeing some light snow falling into these parts and across Thurston County. Continuing on into Bellingham, seeing a few light snowflakes here, not noticing anything accumulating as of right now. And then out closer to the coast, one of the higher spots that will get a better chance of seeing some of the accumulating snowfall. You're seeing some of that snow falling as we speak right now, plus some of the higher waves too. Check out how that wave action has crashed over the jetty, and we have some pooling water right there, right along the street and the road that is right along the coast. Now, temperatures, they're all safely above freezing for most spots that are currently seeing the snow. Bellingham, we're actually at 29 degrees, so we're below the freezing point, but not a lot of moisture up into those parts, so a lot of the snow, again, not accumulating. Hoquiam, we're sitting at 41, currently sitting at 34 around Fork. So the colder air, it's settling in, and highs are going to be in the 30s for the next few days. We're probably not going to get out of the 40s here anytime soon. Here's a look at the radar. Kind of looks impressive, doesn't it? Down along the I-5 corridor, closer to Chehalis, where temperatures are currently above freezing, we're getting that mixture of rain and snow kind of back and forth, and that is starting to extend farther to the north. You're seeing that is now beginning to push into parts of Olympia across Thurston County, and then farther north as you go across parts of Mason County as well. Bellingham, the showers, they're going to be very light and kind of off and on at times, and then that northerly flow coming from the Fraser outflow is going to help to produce a little more snow into some of these parts that we'll be expecting here across areas such as Port Angeles and Sequim as we head into the earlier half of the evening. Only thing we'll keep an eye out for as we head on into that time is whether or not we get the moisture to get blocked by the Olympic Mountains. But because of that wind coming out of the north, it's going to be right here where we have that colder air coming over the strait, and that will help to generate additional snowfall for some of these areas along the north coast of the Olympic Peninsula. Out here along the coast here, you're starting to see that snow and that moisture is arriving, so that will fill in as we head into the night. And as we continue on into the night, expect the better chances of that snow accumulating into some of these parts. So Highway 101, probably not going to be the best of travel on here throughout the nighttime hours. Over the Olympic Mountains, we still have a winter weather advisory in effect there, also for the coastal areas too. And along the coast is where we expect to see 1 to 3 inches in those sea level areas, and then up into the mountains, we could see an additional 7 inches of snow on through that time. Still stronger winds expected up here across the San Juan Islands and for western Whatcom County, where coming out of the Fraser outflow, we're expecting winds generally around 25 to 35 miles per hour, possibly some gusts up to 50, adding more to that chill that's already going to be in the air. So here's your forecast. Up around Seattle, we're talking about generally cloudy skies, kind of a hit or miss chance of a snowflake, but a lot of the moisture just not going to be around us. Here's what I mean by that. Here's future radar, and you can see that by 6 p.m. this evening, most of it's from about Thurston County and farther to the west, and that probably will include areas such as western Kitsap County and then around Hood Canal. I think those are areas to keep an eye out for, as well as Mason County, for some of the accumulating snowfall to be maybe just a bit higher. We're keeping that out along the coast as well. And then it's that area that I mentioned before, right up here around Port Angeles and Sequim, maybe even Discovery Bay, that with the moisture coming up and over the Olympic Mountains might start to wring out some of the snow that we see. So accumulations might be a little less there unless we get more of a flow out of the north to directly impact us closer to Port Angeles, maybe a lesser chance as you go farther to the east, back closer to Sequim. We'll continue on here throughout the night. You can see by about 1 o'clock here late tonight, that moisture not quite as widespread. We're starting to see that dissipate, and that continues on into early tomorrow morning. So a few light flurries still behind for your early Thursday morning, but we're starting to clear out by that point, and we should see more sunshine, just really keeping that colder air in place as we head on through that time. So as we look at the amounts, these are the areas that I want you to keep in mind. Areas here closer to more of Hood Canal, around Mason County, for more of that lowland snow that could start to pop up there. Olympia, parts of Thurston County, especially the western parts of Thurston County, higher chances again of maybe seeing an inch or more snow from this, but the farther west you go, the better opportunity you'll see of maybe noticing some of those accumulation amounts being around 1 to 3 inches. I think Hoquiam and Quileute, where you're seeing that 5-inch range, might be a little excessive here on the models, but I think a good range of 1 to 3, maybe 2 to 4 will be what we're going to see here all the way through tonight and into early Thursday. So for your forecast, as we go on here into the next few nights, it's going to get really cold, and we're talking about possible daily record lows on tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, and also Friday morning, as our lows are projected to fall into the low 20s and upper teens. You can see the records reflected there for Thursday, 23, with our forecast at 21, and then 24 is the record on Friday. That forecast is down to 19 degrees. Now, thankfully, by that point, the winds should start to let up a little bit, so not as much of the wind there. And then we start to see a warming trend on into the weekend as we top off at about 32 for a low on Sunday, and you can see that low at 32 again heading into Monday. We'll still be in the 20s early into Saturday morning, maybe just slightly above the record low of 20. Now your forecast today, flurries kind of off and on as you go farther to the north. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. We'll flirt with the 40s kind of down this way around Redmond and Issaquah, but I think generally 30s again. Paulsville, 35 in Everett. Flurries kind of here and there, and then the better chances as you go farther to the south with temperatures around the upper 30s and low 40s, and as you go farther to the west, seeing more of that over the Olympic Peninsula. Here's your 7-day forecast. Yes, again, still in first alert weather mode for late tonight on through Thursday and Friday because of all the cold air that we're going to have, and really tonight what we're going to see over the Olympic Peninsula for some of that snow that will track on through the area throughout that time. Now we do expect later on into next week there are going to be more opportunities of seeing some lowland wintry precipitation. We're not quite done with this winter pattern quite yet, so make sure to stay tuned with us. We'll let you know all the latest on what we're going to see there, and I would say keep an eye out for Saturday night into early Sunday. Take care, everyone. Stay warm and stay safe on the roads. We'll talk to you later.